Hi everyone, this is Skullshirtle TCG, and welcome back to another Pokemon trading card game. And today we have Steph on the left and Kendell on the right. And this is kind of fun. We are going to have two fighting type decks go up against each other. Steph is playing a Donphan deck, one of the most powerful decks in format right now, and one of the most popular. Excuse me. And Kendell is playing a Landorus Lucario deck. So it'll be fun to see who wins, although my money is on the fighting deck personally, if you get that right. Anyway, it's great to see that there are so many girl players getting into the TCG community right now. I mean, Steph is practically at every single tournament that we have, and we have them every Sunday at my local Pokemon League. And this past Sunday, the one after this video was recorded, there were, I think, 4 or 5 girl players who showed up, which is really awesome. And it's just great trying to get them on camera, showing that not only can they play well, but that they are actually out there and they are doing a great job. So, yeah, I try to get them on camera as often as possible. Anyway, so let's see. In this situation, I'd say Steph definitely wants to go first, since she's playing a deck with evolutions, and basically if you play a deck with evolutions, you will always want to go first, just because if you don't, then you're doing the equivalent of losing a turn, because you won't be able to evolve, but you won't be able to attack. I don't know if that came out correct. Anyway, well, she started out with no basics, so Kendell gets an extra card. And let me explain. In the current format, if you go first, you cannot attack your first turn, but your opponent can. So if you play an evolutions deck, by the time let me try that again. If you're playing an evolutions deck and you go second, your opponent won't be able to attack their first turn, but they will their second turn, and you won't have any evolutions up. There's another mulligan on Steph's end. So basically, it's almost like losing a turn, not being able to go first if you're playing an evolutions deck. And there are evolutions out there. Stage 2s are not that huge right now, unfortunately, just because it takes a lot to set them up, and Seismitoad is a thing which sets off rare candy. If time-space distortion was still in format, then it'd be a different story, but as it is, well, we do finally see a Phanpy from Steph's end, and Kendell gets 2 extra cards, and it'll be interesting to see who goes first. I don't know who to say was going to win here. Okay, Kendell started with a Landorus EX, and it looks like he is going first. No, Steph is. Okay, she got a Fighting Stadium. Unfortunately, that'll help. No, well, it only applies to EXs, so it'll help her, and it won't help Kendell so long as she doesn't play down any EXs. And most Donphan decks don't, so that'll be good. Fighting Stadium adds 20 damage to your fighting type Pokemon if it's going up against an EX. Now, Donphan is a fighting type Pokemon, and Landorus is an EX. So right there, Donphan would do 20 more to Landorus, but since Donphan is not an EX, Fighting Stadium does not add 20 more damage for Landorus's end. Now we do see Kendell bench a Machop, so he's running a Machamp as a support. Not too common, but some people try it. So, just because they feel the extra 20 damage that they can put out is worth the bench space, I guess. And we do see a Karina, so we can get a fighting Pokemon and an item card here. He's looking at the Lucario EX. I'm not sure exactly what he should get here. His item card was a VS Seeker, and he's still looking for his Pokemon. He went with the Lucario. If he can get a fighting energy, well, if he can get a strong energy and a muscle band, then he can deal 50 damage to this Phanpy right now. No, 70 damage to this Phanpy right now. If he had that and a laser, he'd win, but, well, lasers aren't, well, I wouldn't say lasers aren't too uncommon, but that's a whole lot to ask for off of all the cards he has left. And on top of that, he got a VS Seeker with his Karina instead of a muscle band or a laser or something that he would have needed for that combo. He's going to Ultra Ball away 2 fighting energies. Well, he just Ultra Balled away 2 fighting energy and... Oh, okay, I see. He Ultra Balled for... he Ultra Balled away 2 fighting energy and then also played a Professor's Letter. And he got the Machop with the Ultra Ball. Okay. It's not something that I was expecting. That's why it caught me off guard. He basically just Ultra Balled away a Professor's Letter with that combo, and he got another Machop. So, yeah, once he gets those Machamps up, his Landorus is going to be dealing exactly a kajillion damage. And we're going to see the fighting energy go on to Landorus, and Hammerhead here will do 30. And Kendell can attack because he went second, so... yeah, he'll just do Hammerhead for 30. Yeah, Fighting Stadium did not help him. It will help Steph, who benches a Hawlucha. She's going to Ultra Ball. Oh, gosh. Double Colorless Energy. She had 3 in her hand, which is really unfortunate, and a Muscle Band. Well, rather that than another double colorless. And there was a strong energy in her hand, so she needs that to even attack. Right now, she attaches the strong energy, then Spinning Turn, which is what Donphan's best at, does 80 damage, 40 base, another 20 with the strong energy, and then another 20 with the Fighting Stadium. So it'll do 80 total, and, well, then she can just put up the Hawlucha, and... Hawlucha does have free retreat, so if it gets put up there, then great. But if it isn't knocked out, then she can just retreat it, go back into Donphan, and Spinning Turn again, and maybe at that point she'll have a Muscle Band, or another Strong Energy, or something that can help her just deal the extra 20 damage she needs to knock out this Landorus. But... right now, she's at a big disadvantage. We do see Kendell use his VS Seeker, get that Karina back, and grab a Scramble Switch. Interesting to see that as his ace spec. Most people these days go with either Dowsing Machine or Computer Search, and more often than not, Dowsing Machine. But he obviously has his reasons. I mean, Scramble Switch switches all energies, not just basic energies, so that's definitely something to keep in mind if you run a deck that's really heavy on special energy, which most fighting decks are. They run strong energy. Almost all fighting decks run strong energy these days. Donphan decks run double colorless energy, but anyway, we see him get a Machoke as the other half of his Karina, and then we do see the Scramble Switch into Lucario. So the Lucario's, oh, and it has another strong energy too. So Lucario's first attack right now is doing a total of 50 damage to that Hawlucha, unless it resists fighting, and I can't remember if it does right now. Or maybe it's weak to fighting, I don't know. Man, something just happened because it got knocked out there. I don't know. But whatever it was, it's dead, so now... now basically Steph needs a basic Pokemon or she loses. And we do see the double colorless energy go on to Donphan. Doesn't look like she has a supporter in her hand. I'm just guessing here. Yeah, basically she's, it didn't work. Spinning Turn here is only going to do 80, not even close to knocking that thing out. Oh, you know what? That was Lucario's second move it did. That's why it knocked out the Hawlucha. And the strong energy added 20. So yeah, Hawlucha has 70 HP. That did 80 damage. Yeah, that knocked it out. And now we see Lucario's third attack deal 120 damage and knock out Donphan. I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact attack names right now. But just trust me on this. It knocked out that Donphan. And just like that, Kendell won the game. So, once again, a short game. But, well... it would have been great to see a Machamp come into play, see how that would have changed some gameplays. Who knows, maybe if Steph had gotten a few better top decks, then she could have pulled something off. But, well, Kendell just got too many things set up too quickly, and he ran Scramble Switch as his ace spec. And it seemed to really pay off there, so... anyway, seems like that's it for this video. Thanks everyone for watching. I have plenty of TCG videos coming up, so stay tuned for those.